What's up, Salt Strong Nation? It's Courtney, and today I want to talk to you about the best live bait for surf fishing. Now, bait's going to vary region by region, and the accessibility and availability of different baits is going to vary day by day. And of course, what the fish are chewing on is going to change as well. So you want to make sure that you have a variety of bait and make sure that you have the freshest bait. And if you didn't see that from our surf fishing podcast that we did, I highly recommend you take a look at that, and I'll drop the link below for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we're going to talk about is shrimp, because everything eats shrimp. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, but everything does eat shrimp. So when you go to your bait shop and you grab some shrimp, you can get shrimp from the grocery store. Either way, you want to get super fresh shrimp. I prefer to get shrimp that's alive or fresh dead. And so then once you get your shrimp and you see the size of your shrimp, then you can determine how big of a size hook that you should use. So I've already cut up some pieces here, and you can also use the tail, but you want to make sure that you pull that tail end off so that releases that scent. So what I'll do is I will cut the pieces of shrimp in those smaller sections, and then I will take my circle hook, I believe this is a Gamakatsu octopus, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the end of that hook straight in the meat, and then I'm going to go straight up through the shell. So I don't know if you can see that, but you can see how that goes straight through the top of the shell perfectly because you're using that super sharp hook. Very important. So that is the piece of shrimp that you want to have. You can put a piece of fish bite on here if you'd like. This works just fine as well. So we're going to move on to the sand flea. Now this bait is very amazing for one reason, well, two, but one of the biggest reasons that is so great is because you can actually go out and get these sand fleas yourself. It saves money, and you know that you have the freshest of the freshest sand fleas. We just picked these up at the bait shop, so if you do go grab some, make sure that they are alive. You definitely want to have sand fleas that are alive because it keeps the integrity of the shell nice and firm, and it's going to allow that hook to go straight through the outside of it. Another thing, look at all of the roe inside of that sand flea. That is amazing. That is going to make some pompano. This is a big guy. You could maybe even catch a permit with that. That is a huge sand flea. So again, matching up your hook size with your bait. For the demonstration, I'm going to use a little bit of a smaller one. And I've got my 1/0 circle hook here. This is an Owner Mutu Light. And I'm going to show you, this is exactly where you need to put the hook. You're going to put that hook straight through the bottom, just like that. And then it's going to come right out through the end. So you have your sand flea right there on the end of your circle hook. And again, if they're alive and kicking, they will still be alive once you get that hook through them if you hook them down through the bottom. Okay, so bait number 3, live clams. It's a fantastic bait. It's a little expensive, but you can preserve it, and it makes a huge difference when you are out surf fishing. So you want to get clams from either your bait shop or your grocery store, and depending on the size of the clam is going to determine how many baits you're actually going to get out of the clam. So in order to get these open, you can take 2 clams and smash them together. You can use the end of your bait scissors. You can use the end of your pliers. Either way, you get these open, and I'm going to show you. Make sure that you do it away from yourself. It's quite messy. So now that you have your clam piece open, your clam open, you want to pull all of the pieces off of the clam like this. Use your pliers if you need to. Release that muscle from the shell. You can just do that. Simple motion, just like that. And so what you're looking for when you have this clam is that really, really firm piece at the top. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So that firm piece at the top there, again, this is quite messy. That firm piece at the top is what is going to hang on that hook really, really well. So I'm going to show you how I prep this. And so with this size of clam, I can probably get about 3 baits out of this. And having the pieces that are a little bit longer versus the smaller ones. Now this was a much smaller clam that I opened up earlier, but sometimes that's about as big as you're going to get. And so for this one, you're going to use the same method, put the hook right through the end of it. But for the longer pieces, I'm going to show you, you want to go through the top, that firm, darker piece first. Get that hook right through that, and then you're going to thread it. So you're going to pull it down and thread it right through the bottom so you can see that is perfect. That's going to catch you some good fish. And again, clams are not always available, but if you can find them, they are a game changer. I highly recommend them. So moving on to bait number 4 is the blue crab. Now you can do this with a lot of different crabs as well. We get a lot of blue crabs here in Northeast Florida. And as you can see, he is definitely still alive. So I'm actually going to show you the way that you can do this. And I'm going to grab his pinchers here. So once you have your live blue crab, I don't recommend grabbing him like that unless he's a little asleep right now because he was on ice. But you want to make sure that you get these pinchers off first. That is step 1, because I guarantee you if you get pinched by this, you are not going to be happy. So once you get those pinchers off, you're going to go ahead and go through these, and each of these legs you're going to clip off to make a knuckle. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you're going to cut each leg off and you're going to have a knuckle just like that. And that's what you want to end up with. You want to end up with that knuckle end, okay? So once you have that knuckle end, you're going to have what looks like this. And then you're going to pull off this top section of the crab. And once you get that top section off, you'll be able to then start cutting your knuckles. And I think you can see this here, but you have your knuckles, and you can see that because that's right where you're going to put your circle hook, straight through those knuckles. I already have one set up here. So you can see the knuckle, or the hook goes directly through that knuckle, and then you are able to throw this out. This is a great bait. Pompano love blue crab. Big redfish love blue crab. I'm telling you, this is an amazing bait. So if you can get that just like that, get it straight through that knuckle and pull it right up. I'm going to get this blue crab off the table before he pinches me. Okay, so we went through all 4 of the surf fishing baits. I want to talk a little bit about fish bites because they are a little bit of a help when you are out on the beach and let's say you don't want to have a ton of a mess, because you can see this is a huge mess. Let's say you're just going for a quick trip and you don't have time to go get bait. This is a great thing to always keep on you that will stay nice and fresh if you take care of it. Make sure those packages are sealed up and keep them in a cool, dry place. Okay, so again, just like with your live bait, your natural baits, you want to make sure that you are matching the hatch with your fish bites. So if you see a ton of donut clams on the beach, go ahead and grab you some of those coquina clam fish bites. You can see, I actually just found a couple earlier. Those little clams there show up all over the beach. And look at that. It's perfect. And so it's just a great thing to have. Less mess, super easy, definitely work. I highly recommend keeping at least a bag or 2 of those on you. And the 5th bait is really what I want to talk about as far as summertime goes, because if you're wanting to target those bigger species in the summertime, your tarpon, your big bull redfish, your big sharks, cut bait is an amazing bait if you really want to go after those big fish. So highly recommend. If you're catching in those smaller whiting, let's say you get a ladyfish during the mullet run, that cut bait is going to definitely catch you some of those bigger fish. And I say, do it. Okay, so last thing quickly I wanted to go through are the hooks. Looks like I've used all of them. But I just wanted to quickly go through the hooks. So you definitely want to get a really nice circle hook. So I use the Owner Motu Light, and I also use the Gamakatsu octopus hooks. These hooks are fantastic. They are super sharp. and they definitely get the job done. So highly recommend looking into those. And if you're an insider member, you'll get 20% off in our tackle shop online. So that's going to wrap up the video for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
And if you're new to Salt Strong, just know that we're the best online fishing club in America because we actually guarantee you'll catch more fish while saving time and money. We do this by providing you with our premium education, an exclusive online fishing community, and huge discounts on the best tackle for saltwater anglers. To learn more, go to saltstrong.com, and we hope to see you in the Insider family soon.